Today I'm talking to Matt Sturm about men's wellness and his new book, The Organic Masculine, that is just published. Matt, welcome. Please start with introducing yourselves to us.
Okay, well, it's such a pleasure to get to be here in person. I wrote this book, The Organic Masculine, over the last 2 years, and it is a compilation of my last decade of doing my own inner healing work, men's work, sacred sexuality, somatic therapy, and it kind of all came through and coalesced into this body of work that wanted to come back out into the world. Primarily because as someone in a male body who was socialized masculine, and I had disowned my masculinity for a large portion of my life because I could see the ways that men were causing problems in the world. When I made the decision to embrace my masculinity, so many aspects of my life changed. I started to really connect with more of who I felt like I was authentically. So the organic masculine is the life-affirming core of masculinity, and it's available to each and every one of us, all genders, all humans, because we all have access to and we all engage with the masculine pretty much daily.
Yeah. Let's take a step back and put ourselves in the shoes of a man somewhere in the modern society, and the traditional role has been to be a provider.
Great.
To the family, to the village, to the community. So if someone is wanting to look into that aspect of themselves,
yes,
right? Maybe the life is not satisfactory, relationships not satisfactory, something is triggering them to question their version of what to be a man is in this society. How should they begin? How should they start thinking about these things?
Sure. So I lead men's retreats and I also work one-on-one with men. And I find often that men have hit that point of recognizing that the masculinity that they thought was true or that they've been given doesn't work. Like, oh, this doesn't work. And then the question is, what do I do now? So this book is designed as a workbook because it's not just like some text that you can read and have some good ideas. It's meant to transform you.
Okay.
So there's prompts for journaling and discussion at the end of every chapter, and there's a lot of exercises in here. But my highest vision for this book is that a group of guys would come together and work through it together. Or, all genders, a group of people would come and engage with this book and discuss it, talk through it. I don't think you're going to agree with everything I say, and that's not necessarily the point. The point is to tee up the conversation so that you can find what's right for you.
So on one side, we talk about toxic masculinity in our society and addressing that in each of us, and as a collective, there's that. And then on the other side is oversensitive men not utilizing their position and privilege to fight for what is right, to change things for what needs to be better. Please talk to me about that.
So each one of these is in their own developmentally appropriate place, and they're causing harm in their own way. Toxic masculinity. So it's a pretty broad term. I like the term male violence.
Okay.
So when we look at statistics, 98% of sexual assaults are committed by men. 95% of homicides globally are committed by men. So we need to understand that. Just for now, people who are in the traditional worldview, where in order to protect myself, protect my family, violence seems like a viable option. If you get to the point where you start to see through that, then the next step on the developmental ladder is into the modern spectrum. And part of this is this developmental ladder gives us a framework for how we grow. So we actually don't want to take men who are in the traditional worldview and try to get them to integral. You can't skip levels. The next step is, let's get you skills so that you can create value in the world, so you can achieve and build your self-esteem in a positive way, instead of relying on your affiliation to your sports team, your church, or your political group. You can build your own creations in the world. That's the next step for you. So then your next question about the overly sensitive men,
Yeah.
I call that disaffected masculinity. And disaffected masculinity works hand in hand with toxic masculinity, or hegemonic masculinity is a little more technical term. Because it's like, we're just saying to the guys who are creating harm in the world, go right ahead and keep doing it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stand up for what's right. And so there's a way that we turn the blinder on, and then we don't bring justice, bring truth into the world as men. And once you start to see that, that's inevitably going to lead you into, okay, I need to grapple with my own masculinity and how I want to show up as a man with other men in the world. And that inevitably leads you into the integral level. Like, okay, what's the whole version of masculine for me?
Yeah.
And then how can I spread that and share that?
So if someone is just about starting their men's journey, what are some of the resources that you can point to?
First and foremost, I would say find a men's group.
Okay.
Join a men's group. There are a lot of established organizations out there. For the established organizations, look into their ethics.
Yeah.
See if the way that they're approaching it feels aligned for you. But also, you don't have to join an organization. You can get a group of your buddies together, and you guys can meet once a week or once a month and connect. Learning from other men how to embody masculinity was a crucial step on my path. Crucial multiple steps. I could not do it alone.
You're approaching it from a much broader perspective as a society, as a culture, as a civilization. How should we think about these as we're seeding into the next evolution? I think an ambitious work. I want to congratulate you for bringing this out, and thank you for making this available to all of us. Any final message to our audience from you?
Thank you so much for your support, Owen. What I would leave you with is that once this starts to click into place and we start to engage with this, it becomes not only a deep passion, but it becomes incredibly fun.
Yeah.
And it's super exciting to see the ways that your life reorients itself as you, as a man, begin to step into more of the authentic version of you. It's an incredible gift that you give to the whole world, and the world needs it right now, to all of your loved ones, but first and foremost, it's a gift that you give to yourself.
What a powerful message. My heart is already warm. Just hearing it out, just feeling that potential in all of us, right? To be fully embraced as who we are, to be embodied authentically in my truth fully in this world is the greatest gift we give to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Fully on it. Matt, thank you so much for doing it. I appreciate you, your energy, you as a teacher, you as a friend, everything you do. Powerful work. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you, pleasure.
And so finally, to reach Matt, you can find Matt on Wellma, Matt Sturm, and you can look at his latest work, services, classes that he's doing. So, and you can follow Matt for future work that he's providing for us. With that, thank you so much.